to the misery of people, and whatever criticism of international community as far as the US supporting Mr. Netanyahu will not make a difference.
Saeed Shahata from BBC Arabic, thank you as always. Let's discuss this more now with veteran American diplomat and President Emeritus of the Middle East Policy Council, Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley. Thank you very much for joining us on BBC News. We were talking there with Saeed about the pressure on President Trump. Do you think this confirmation of famine puts more pressure on him to pressure Benjamin Netanyahu?
Thank you for having me. It should, but it is unlikely to, in all honesty. The president absolutely understands what's going on in the Gaza Strip. Many days, we have heard him acknowledge publicly that there is starvation in the Gaza Strip. We have heard him assert that the United States would help with food delivery to increase food into the Gaza Strip. And yet we have also heard him call Prime Minister Netanyahu a war hero, giving him clearly a green light to increase this military pressure on the Gaza Strip, particularly on civilians. So the pressure is one that he is going to resist up until now, until perhaps he sees more photographs coming out or the results of this push into Gaza City. If it is too terrible, and if there's enough evidence coming out, that may change it. But the Prime Minister has said, we know there's no starvation, and it is a case of, from his perspective, are you going to believe me or your lying eyes? The world sees, but he continues to deny it.
I'm interested in how much coverage there is in the United States, in the newspapers, in the media of the situation in Gaza, particularly, say, for example, in the last 24 hours, where we have had this confirmation of famine. Are those pictures being shown on television in the United States? Are the public reacting to that?
Not as much as are being shown in the region and perhaps in Europe. There are pictures, one or two, of people trying to get aid, of children who are clearly suffering from malnutrition. But certainly in no way is it blanketed. And we have to acknowledge that the Israeli government, supported by the U.S. government and some European governments, has done, an extraordinary job of undermining the credibility and trust in our usual sources of information, whether it is journalists who are on the ground in the Gaza Strip, whether it is international aid agencies or the United Nations itself, UNRWA, which has been in the Gaza Strip serving refugees for decades, well respected for the work that they did, and completely undermined as far as their reputation. Everyone is either tarred with being either anti-Semitic or anti-Israel or supporting terrorism. And so that has been incredibly effective since the beginning of this war.
Gina Abercrombie-Winstanley, thank you very much for your time on BBC News.
My pleasure.